good morning. Happy February 2nd to all of you beautiful people in the room, those of you online. In case you don't know where you are, this is Spiritual Center of the Desert, and boy, is this place alive today.
It is. Wow, the energy. Woo!
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Woo! Well, I wonder if there's anybody who's here for the very first time. Who's here for the first time?
Who got
Look
dragged
at all those
here by...
Oh my God.
You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here.
Well, we're so happy you're here. No matter how you got here, if somebody dragged you here or whatever, please, we know you're welcome. And know, like I always say, this ain't your mama's church. Okay.
You'll see why.
Or your grandma's, probably, maybe. Yeah. Maybe your mama's, but not your grandma's. Okay.
Yeah, and just to introduce, we don't really introduce ourselves very often. This is Dr. Laura Shackelford. I'm Dr. Dale Olansky. This is Reverend William Conway. And it is our joy and our passion to be the spiritual leaders of this center, as well as our practitioners and ministers. This place is just happening.
Yes.
It is happening, and we love what we do here because we teach you that we are all spiritual beings, no matter what your faith is, whether you're Jewish or Catholic or Hindu, all are welcome here.
Atheist.
Yes. Atheist, too. Who cares? It's all about love.
And so be sure after the service, I know you'll be rushing over to get some food, but I'll be at the welcome table. It'll be in the foyer, and we've got a little gift for you. So anyway, welcome. We're so happy you're here, and we're just knowing you're going to want to come back.
Yeah, this place just really, it kind of gets in you, and you have to come back again and again and again.
Right.
So we're glad you're here. We've got something, our mission statement. Yes. Let's start with that. So especially for you new people, this sums up what we're all about. So let's say our mission statement together. We are a dynamic, open, and positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our mission is to awaken you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives one heart at a time. That's it. I love that.
That's it. Yep.
So today is a special birthday celebration because not only is it our February people, but it is our Dr. Laura, her birthday was yesterday, and this is
I like that drinking picture you have of me.
Was that yesterday?
No, look at how long my hair, that was when my hair was blonde and long, and I had hair.
Well, Dr. Laura, we love you so much and appreciate you, and we are just so grateful to celebrate you and everybody else. Let's have the other February birthday people stand up so we can celebrate you and honor you.
Well, look at all these great Aquarians out here.
Aquarians and
you too.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, February birthdays. Happy birthday to you.
wow.
Aquarians are pretty cool.
Well, that's also
right?
Pisces, though. We got the Pisces
Oh,
at the end.
Pisces
So
too.
Pisces,
Oh, that's right.
two of my
Pisces
favorite
too. My
signs.
son is a Pisces.
There you go.
Yeah.
Before we get to this slide, last week we neglected to thank somebody who's related to this woman. Ryan Shackelford donated to this center this wonderful new projector that is bringing even greater clarity and color. Thank you. We were going to do it last week, and I wasn't sure because I like to be very mindful.
He didn't want anybody to say anything.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Elizabeth said, you're doing it next week, girl.
That's right.
So
That's right. So thank you, Rye.
Yeah. We also want to thank those of you that have turned in your membership forms. Thank you so much. It helps us kind of figure out what to expect as far as income is concerned. If you still want to turn in your membership form, you can. It's not over. Anytime you want to turn it in, you can do it online or you could call the office. We just really appreciate the energy of your commitment to be a part of the center, the growth, the giving, the receiving. It's all one really great thing, and we would love for you to be a part of us by becoming a member.
Right. And a lot of you, too, which which is really wonderful, you have us take it out of your account on a certain date or whatever, and we automatically withdraw it. So it's really nice to have that form, and then you don't have to think about it, and you know that it's already being taken care of,
Yeah,
too.
easy peasy.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Okay, so Prosperity Plus 3 is starting tonight. I need to tell you that you don't...
Not tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry, tomorrow night. Oh, God, well. Anyways, tomorrow night, I will not be here tonight. Anyways, it does start tomorrow. I need to tell you, you do not need to have taken 1 and 2. They're standalone programs. 3 is just an enhanced version. So if that interests you, and you haven't taken 1 or 2 and you really want to jump in, you can still enroll. You okay? You can still enroll in the class. So you can do that by just showing up tomorrow night, although we'd prefer a phone call or go online and register. But we're still accepting enrollment. So please join us. It's going to be extraordinary. I am so excited so many of you have signed up because we are going to change our consciousness. We're going to bring greater affluence to us in all ways, shapes, and forms. So I would love for all of you to be a part of this uplift. So thank you.
And if you didn't get did you tell them if they didn't get their
No,
booklet?
could you tell them that?
Oh, yeah. If you didn't get your package yet, you haven't paid, even if you've paid for it, Monday they'll be here, Monday night they'll be here, or else you can purchase them on Monday night if you don't have yours yet.
Yeah, you don't need it before class, but you'll be receiving it tomorrow if you haven't gotten it yet, and that's perfect. That works.
And I just have a message. Somebody left their car running in the parking lot, a Subaru or something. What color was it, Mimi? Do you know? Subaru Legacy.
All right.
You left your engine running.
If you want to
Okay.
wait,
Oh, she didn't do it. She's just helping
no, she's
somebody.
helping. Oh my God.
She's just helping.
Yeah, that's how we do things.
That's what our center's all about.
We're such giving people. Anyways, shh, let's keep it quiet. One last thing, again about the Prosperity Plus course. The $55 is to purchase your materials, just to let you know. The workbook, there's videos that are going with it, so it's a lovely package. There's a book, too.
Yes.
You're getting a lot for your buck, plus the expansion that you're going to have in your life as a result of this. On that note, I think we're ready to go.
I think we're ready to go.
All
All right, let's go.
Here are this week's announcements for Spiritual Center of the Desert. If you're going through something in your life right now and would like spiritual support, please go to the Om Room after service and a practitioner will pray for you. Following service today, it's Potluck Sunday. Join us for fun, food, and community. Coming up this week at the center, on Tuesday at 11:30 a.m., Dr. Laura has her book study in Costa Hall. Also on Tuesday, Healing Hearts meets at 4 p.m. in Costa Hall. This group is led by Christine Cummings and Barbara Stenning. On Wednesday at 3:30 p.m., the Caregiver Support Group meets in Costa Hall. This group is led by Dr. Dale. Also on Wednesday, it's our monthly drum circle led by Reverend William. We begin at 6 p.m. in the sanctuary. Please bring your own drum or another instrument that goes with a drum circle. On Thursday at 9 a.m., join Dr. Dale in her virtual Sacred Circle. You can find the Zoom link on our website. On Saturday, February 8th, the men's group is going for a hike. They're meeting at 8 a.m. behind Keaty's restaurant in the parking lot. On Monday, February 24th at 10 a.m., Dr. Joe will be teaching his Learn How to Pray workshop. You do not need to sign up. Just show up. There will be an evening date in March, but we will let you know once it's been decided. You can pick up a February calendar in our foyer. If you have questions or you would like more information, please call us at 760-346-4649 or visit our website at pdspiritualcenter.org. Have a great week.
Well, me and all my friends, we're all misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing and there's nowhere we ever could. Now we see everything that's going wrong with the world and those who lead it. We just feel like we don't have the means to rise above and beat it. So keep waiting, waiting for the world to change. Keep on waiting. It's hard to beat the system when we're still in rather distance. So we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. Now if we had the power to bring our neighbors home from war, they would have never missed a Christmas, no more ribbons on their door. And when you trust your television, what you get is what you got. 'Cause when they own the information, they can bend it all they want. That's why we're waiting on the world to change. Keep on waiting on the world to change. It's not that we don't care, we just know that the fight ain't fair. So we keep waiting on the world to change. Yeah, we still waiting on the world to change. Keep on waiting on the world to change. One day our generation is gonna rule the population. So we keep waiting on the world to change. Now we keep waiting on the world to change. Keep on waiting on the world to change. Waiting on the world to change. Waiting on the world to change. Waiting on the world to change.
Thank you, Mike. I love the passion around that because I think we're all feeling that. More on that later. Reverend William, will you join me? So this is the first Sunday of the month, and what is tradition here is that we celebrate various faith traditions and spiritual philosophies because the founder of the philosophy that we practice here, Science of Mind, this founder saw the good in all these different religions and philosophies. And he took all these different aspects and put them together in one philosophy that is all inclusive, that allows us to be able to be a Catholic and a religious scientist because it all works together. And so today we celebrate some of those religions and philosophies so that we can see that within ourselves these spiritual truths live and we can access them because they aren't just belonging to one cultural group. We can all relate to them. So today we honor that. And so the first religion, it's actually a philosophy, is the Tao. And the Tao teaches us that this universe that we live in is perfectly balanced, that everything is interconnected, everything fits together. And what happens on one side of the universe is felt on the other side because that's how interconnected we are. It doesn't matter about time or space, we are one. And so the Tao teaches us that that oneness, at the center of it, has this spiritual energy that we all have, that we all are. And the Tao teaches us to get in tune with that. We don't need to describe what it is or write what it is. We just need to feel it. Because when we feel that oneness, we all feel it together. And so the Tao teaches us that oneness and balance of all things. And the next is Judaism. Judaism brought the idea of spiritual law to the world, that there are certain invisible laws that govern our existence and the whole universe. So the thing is, you learn about how those spiritual laws work, and then you use them in a way in which you are creating a good life. We use them positively, effectively. And Ernest Holmes took this idea and teaches it to us that there is spiritual law, and we learn how to use it in a way that brings us a good life, rather than using it unconsciously and creating haphazardly. So we honor the Jews for bringing us spiritual law. And the next is Buddhism. Buddhism teaches us the importance of mindfulness, of being aware of our thinking, because our thinking, as we teach here, creates our reality. So if we take a step back and be the observer of what we're thinking, how we're looking at things, we can change that which is not creating good in our life. So Buddhism brought this great idea of being mindful of who we are, what we're doing, how we're behaving in the world, so we can choose better if we're not creating our ideal life. And the next religion is Christianity. And Christianity teaches us the power of love, that we are all one, we are all brothers and sisters, and to be kind, compassionate, and forgiving, because we do not know what people have gone through and why they are like they are. So when we can be loving and kind and compassionate, we're extending forgiveness to others and also to ourselves, because we have to include ourselves in everything that we do. So love, love, love. That is what Christianity brought to us. The next is Islam. And Islam has a wonderful faith tradition. They pray 5 times a day. 5 times a day. You have to stop whatever you're doing and pray. And I love that practice, because what I know is if you're taking time 5 times a day to stop what you're doing, go within and connect with your source, with your higher power, you're going to change for the better. And you're going to see that that power is showing up for you because you're connecting it with it and acknowledging it. And so that's a beautiful tradition that Islam has brought to us. And the next, this is all of the traditions that are like what we are here, New Thought. So in the late 1800s, people were starting to get a little restless about their spirituality. They were sensing that there's something more than what they're being taught in traditional religions, because they realized they didn't need somebody to tell them what to do or how to connect with spirit. They figured out they could do it themselves and got great results from that. So the religions or spiritual traditions such as science of mind and unity and divine science, that falls under this category. And so we honor those faith traditions because they allow us to be in the seat of creativity in our lives, because we see the power is within. And the last, this is for all spiritual traditions, religions, whatever, that are ready to come next, because you know what? We're growing, we're changing, we're expanding, and we're going to need more, something new, something bigger than what we've ever believed in to enable our spirituality to grow and expand. And so whatever's next, we say, yes, come through, because we know that as we evolve as a humanity, we're going to need more, and so we're ready for the more, because we know that whatever it is, it's going to serve us and allow us to grow even bigger in our spiritual awareness. And so I want to ask you just to take a breath of air in right now, because that was a lot of information. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to think about it. This is just an opportunity to awaken within yourself something that you might have heard that means something to you. Something that may have empowered you spiritually in a way that you never contemplated before. And so as we move into our quiet time to just let go and just open up to the love that is in this room, man, can you feel it today? There's a lot of love in here today. I invite you just to take this time to set aside any worries and concerns and open up your heart. Press the pause button on the thinking in your mind. It can take a break. But open up your heart and just feel the love. Feel the still small voice within you. And just let yourself relax and receive this inspiration.
Still my mind, be at peace in my awakening. I release with my heart, free my soul in my awakening. I am whole. You know what to do. As I love, and as I give.
clear my sight.
All I believe,
All I believe,
all I know,
all I know.
in my awakening,
In my awakening,
I let go.
I let go.
Fill me with love,
Fill me with love
conquer my fear.
and conquer my fears.
In my awakening,
In my awakening,
God appears.
God appears.
Still my mind,
Still my mind,
be at peace.
be at peace.
In my awakening,
In my awakening,
I release.
I release. Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om.
I invite you to take a deep cleansing breath. And on the exhale, just release now anything that is not of love. Just going to that place within us where there is only peace. I recognize that there's only one thing happening in this life experience. It's all God. There is nothing anywhere but God. No person, place, thing, or situation in our lives where God is not. And God is all loving, all good, our one source, our one supply for all things. So I'm just so grateful to know that I am that one essence of life, that each and every person within the sound of my voice is that one essence of life we call God, the I am. And because of this oneness and because of this essence that we are, our lives are divinely guided, directed, and guarded. Divine intelligence is working through us at all times, so intuitively we just know the next right step, the next right action, the next right word to speak in every situation that is for the highest good of all. And I know there is nothing lacking, nothing limiting this life experience, because God has promised us the kingdom. So there are no limitations, and I just call forth right here and right now the absolute surrender and allowing of God to be God as our lives. Allowing all the beautiful God qualities that make up the natural state of our being to just come forward into our life experience with ease and grace, all the love, all the joy and peace, the harmony, order and balance, the abundance and prosperity, the perfect health and wholeness, grace and beauty, power, creativity, freedom, and so much more. So I'm just knowing that as we go through these times of change as in unity with each other, that we do so knowing that as we move forward, there is a blessing. As we move forward, that our calling is to be the love, to be the love, to be the peace that we wish to see on the planet. I know that this is already done as I release this prayer
as law, knowing that it's already answered. So I let go and I let God and allow this beautiful day to unfold with peace and ease and grace and beauty. And so it is. Amen.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. I awake to this holy silence, and I hear all that has never been said. And right here in this holy silence, I find God. I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. I awake to this holy silence, and I hear all that has never been said. And right here in this holy silence, I find God. I find myself. You find God. You find yourself. And we find God, we find ourselves. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one.
I'm a bit of a nervous Nelly this morning. Sorry, I'm like shaking like a leaf.
I love you guys.
All the times you thought you'd never make it through, felt just like the world just turned its back on you. Didn't stop you. All the times you could have given in and given up, times you didn't know if you were strong enough. Didn't stop you. Somehow it's all part of the plan, the journey, the journey, the journey. It's the journey, it's the getting there to where you're going to. Going through hell, but still you're gonna make it through. It's a fire that they can't put out inside. It's a hell of a ride. All the times they thought that they could hold you back, but you've always known there was no chance of that. You're made too strong, and when you're with your heart, you can go farther than you ever thought possible. Prove them all wrong. It's all part of the bigger plan, the journey, the journey, the journey. It's a getting there to where you're going to. Going through hell, but still you're gonna make it through. It is a fire that they can't put out inside. It's a hell of a ride. Every step you take is one more step put on the way, on the journey, the journey, the journey. It's a getting there to where you're going to. Going through hell, but still you're gonna make it through. It is a fire that they can't put out inside. It's a hell of a ride. It's a journey. It's a getting there to where you're going to. Going through hell, but still you're gonna make it through. It is a fire that they can't put out inside. It's a ride. It's a journey. Oh, the journey. Oh.
You had trouble with that, did you, young lady? it's hard to follow that. I mean, like that was
Got
my
the chops. You got the chops.
thank you, because that's my talk today. You know, I'm really not one to ignore the world or the country or what's going on like in the collective. And the journey for a lot of us the last couple of weeks has been a little scary. Understatement, okay. And I want to just say this is not a political talk. This is a human talk. Because I know there are some people that are delighted with the changes that are happening to our country. It's fine. But I know there's a lot of us that, honor that. But I know there's a lot of people that have been put in fear. And I happen to be one of those. Because a couple of weeks ago, I had one of those come to Jesus moments with myself, where I looked at what was going on, and I had to ask myself, I don't know if I can handle this. Honest. I said, I don't know if I have the right stuff to navigate this territory we're walking into. And it's probably because I haven't been through it before, and I don't have the skill set. But it doesn't matter, because I was having that feeling of just being really scared and not having the chops to do this life in what's showing up. And so as I was sitting there in my pity potty, my mom decided to drop in. My mother passed away in 2018, and every now and then she likes to make an appearance. And this was a moment, because I was having a moment. And for those of you that don't know my mom, I may have told you this story before, but allow me to tell it again, because it's one of my favorite stories about her, and it really says who she was. So my mom was born in 1930, and I guess maybe towards the end of the 1930s or early 1940s, she was a schoolgirl, maybe somewhere around 8 and 10 years old. And she was so excited, first day of school, right? And my mom loved her dad, and her dad got her this really pretty leather-bound school portfolio, and she was so excited. She was ready for her first day of school, had her portfolio with her, got on the bus because she was bused into where she went to school, and she got off the bus and was just really excited. And this little boy walked up to her, and he took away her portfolio, threw it on the ground, stepped on it, and said, "You dirty Jew." Yeah. Now, most little girls would start crying and run away, maybe go find a teacher. Not my mom. Not my mom. She proceeded to beat the living daylights out of the kid. Oh, yeah. She was not one for bullies, and she was fearless to the core. And, you know, I love to tell that story. Being her daughter was a whole nother experience, because that energy was there growing up. But she taught me something really important in that moment. She taught me not to fall apart. And she said to me, she goes, "You know, Dale," she's very talkative. "You know, Dale, our family did not conquer genocide. We did not escape diasporas. We did not triumph over discrimination for you to fall apart." And I said, "Oh my God, you're so right. My mom, Dr. Laura, I'm sorry, but I think my mom spiritually bitch slaps me more than you do. She got a hand on her." But she did the trick, because I just, I kind of dusted myself off, and I thought, I do have what it takes. Because my mom said, you know who you are. You know who you are. This is just new territory. You're going to figure this out. You're going to figure this out because you got the right stuff. You got the right stuff. Yeah. And we all have the right stuff. I bring this up, and I'm sorry, I think I may have offended somebody because I said the word political and had my opinion. But honestly, this isn't about being political. It really is about any kind of circumstance that comes in our life that really shakes us to the core. And that could be anything. It could be a diagnosis. It could be, something unexpected. You lose your home. You lose anything that makes us really question ourselves and our ability and our strength to be able to move forward in life. So this is for all of us, regardless of what you believe and what political party you are in. So Ernest Holmes says this about right, being right. The Spirit urges us into righteousness, but what does righteousness mean? Right relationship with ourselves, our fellow man, and the universe. That is what gives birth to truth, to beauty, to peace, to joy, and to power. And really, for me, what this pulled me into seeing is that spirit is righteousness. Spirit is living right. Because I was so caught up in the stuff of this world that I wasn't seeing rightly. I wasn't seeing the bigger picture. And when you're not seeing the bigger picture and you're not standing in right relationship with who you are, if you're not standing there, you're hurting. And when we're standing in that knowing of who we are, good comes to the surface. So I created a little acronym for STUFF. I thought that might be fun. And what's really cool, just to let you know, some of you science minders know this, Ernest Holmes used the word stuff as the energy of spirit. He called it invisible stuff. So it's that energy that we use to create. And I thought that was cool because when we're using the right stuff, which is that energy of spirit in its purest form, then we can really create good in our life. So S stands for strength. Need I say more? The ability to stand strongly, to not be taken down like my mom. She was right in her strength. Nothing could take her down. She was sure-footed, she was grounded in who she was, and she was able to move herself forward in what she needed to do. T is tenacity. You know, tenacity is all about being persistent, of not falling asleep on this journey that we're on, to be able to stand strongly and get our expansion and our knowing into gear, because if we fall asleep, we're going to fall into that ditch. And so if we have the tenacity and the persistence to stay awake, to stay mindful, to check our thinking, to make sure that we're in the space of spirit and not in the space of all this stuff, this other stuff, then we're going to be able to move forward and stand in a better place within ourselves through whatever. U is understanding. It's so important to understand ourselves, to understand our thinking, to understand what's possible. Because I think a lot of times, and I'm right there with you, when we're in a lot of chaos and disturbance in this world, we lack understanding because we're staying in that muck. But if we can understand what we're reacting to, what's going in here, and what's possible, then we're going to be able to move easily. F is faith. I cannot emphasize this enough. Faith in knowing that good is coming. No matter what's going on, that power of spirit is right underneath, coming to the surface. And I know a lot of our faith is being challenged right now, and it's because we're so fixated on the conditions. When we're fixated on those conditions, faith is hard to come by. That's why, and I'm going to be telling you about this, we got to stop being so stuck. We have to be stop ourselves and being so stuck in what's happening and go to that faith in knowing what's possible and keeping our consciousness high. Now, the last one might be a little, you might not, what is the word I'm looking for? You might not expect this. Fun. Fun. We got to keep it fun and light, you guys. I know. Man, I've just been, right? You got to bring the fun into your life. You got to remember, and I know you might have a question with me on this, but we got to stop taking things so seriously. And I know it is serious, I know, but we got to take a break from the seriousness and have some fun. Go live your life. Go live your life. Go enjoy those things that you love to do. Keep that going because that is important for you to be open, to be happy, to be joyful. We can live in both worlds, so have some fun. So to me, this is the right stuff. If we can do our best to live these qualities, to live in this awareness, we're going to do much better through what's going on right now. Oh, here's a little fun. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Remember that? Am I dating myself? Oh, well. Anyways, Weebles, we are Weebles. We're all Weebles. We wobble, and it seems like, oh, my God, no, you're not going to fall down. You're going to come right back up. Talk about spiritual truth from, what was it, Play School? I don't know what the manufacturer was, or whatever, Mattel. But they don't. We are all Weebles, and we don't fall down. When you get pushed to the edge, you sprout your wings. And I really felt that because I felt like I was so pushed to the edge of my comfort zone. Like I was just standing there, thank God for Mom. But I felt like I was so there at the edge. And then when she came down and bitch slapped me, it's like my wings opened up and I was like, oh, I can fly now. But it's so true. Look at different times in your life when you've really been pushed to that edge and you thought, God, I can't do this. This is like too much for me. Did your wings not unfurl and you were able to fly? Yeah, maybe somebody you spoke to helped you unfurl your wings. I know that we do a lot of that here. Dr. Lauren, Reverend William, our beloved Laura, Nicoletti, and Jackie, and all our other practitioners and ministers, we're here to make sure you unfurl those wings when you don't think they're there. Ernest says if we find ourselves in a situation which is unpleasant, we must stop fighting it and antagonizing it. We must begin to praise it and bless it. This is the principle of non-resistance. Please pay attention to this last line. But it does not mean acquiescence. This is not turning away from a condition and ignoring it exists. It's being able to see it, acknowledge it. I'm going to give you permission to have your human emotion about it. We all have to have that. It's energy that comes up. We got to let it come through and leave. Because we've got to come to a place where we can recognize that everything that happens in this world and in our lives is the result of cause and effect. This is not something that is haphazard that is happening in our world right now, as unpleasant as it can be. I get it. However, it is the result of something that we are experiencing, and we're going to get something out of it, and we're going to get to the other side. So let us raise it, bless it, and praise it, because it is something that's just passing through. The more we can accept this life, the easier it's going to be to move through it. If we fight it and resist it, then it just makes it stronger. But if we accept it and see it, it's going to help us maybe to get a little more spiritual understanding about it and to rise to a higher level of seeing what's ours to do or how we can be with all of this and hold the light. Joseph Goldsmith said, if we could live in this minute, content to know that the power of God is in operation and be willing to let that continue, there would be no concern about the past and very little about the future. And this is like graduate school spirituality. I get it. But honestly, seriously, this is the place to plant our consciousness, to have that realization that spirit is in this. We aren't alone. We're not being punished for anything. There isn't something wrong with the way the universe is working, not at all. Spirit is right at the center of this, operating, moving all of us through this to the other side. So if we can get in there, and I know it might take some practice, I know, but you can practice believing this. Say it, believe it, because it's going to grow roots inside of you. And then you're going to realize you don't have to worry about anything. I mean, you can have your little flare-ups, that happens. Things happen, it's like, oh, what's that? But the cool thing is, when we have that belief, yep, Spirit's in this, working it out, then we're less worried because we have trust and we have faith. Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path, right? I know a lot of, right? Hello? I know a lot of us, we get caught in the storm and we're in the clouds and the rain and the lightning and we're like, ah! But it's not about that necessarily. It's there to clear things up. Clear it up, because I believe a lot of what's going on right now is to bring things to the surface, to bring into our awareness individually and collectively. This is really a time of a lot of deep, deep learning. And I don't know about you, but I'm learning about my values in a way I never had considered before. I'm learning what's important to me. I'm learning what I want to support. It's really a time to learn and see what we're carrying around with us that's feeding this. And so a lot of what this stormy stuff is, it's clearing things up. Isn't it beautiful after it rains? I love how it smells really nice, and there's all those leaves I have to go sweep up in my yard. That's really fun too. But it's a cleansing. It's a cleansing. So if we kind of change the way we're seeing this storminess into something that's actually clearing space, we might approach it a bit differently. And this is the year of the snake. This is the year of the snake on top of all of this. And I found this on the internet. It's shedding the ego. This is what this year is about. Like, we need more shedding. It's shedding the ego, letting go of the past, letting go of anger, letting go of love lost. So really releasing, like a snake sheds its skin. We're shedding a lot. And you know what? It isn't easy shedding because we get really exposed and vulnerable, right? But that's okay, because we gotta shed the skin, or else the new life, the new skin doesn't have an opportunity to come into our life as growth, as newness, as expansion. The writer goes on to say, this is the year where that kind of growth, personal and macro, because we're all growing inside and the world as well, internal and external is very much possible. This is the year where we move into a greater possibility, but it's up to us to not get stuck in fear. So, how to navigate times like these? And like I said, this isn't just about what we're walking through as a country or a world. This is about our own stuff that comes up that scares us. So see it, don't be it. We have a tendency to see things in the world and then we become them. We get all intertwined with it, we take on the energy, and now we're just shut down. We can still see stuff because you know what? I am not one to turn away. I like to see what's going on. It's just part of how I am. But I've learned to see it, but don't become it. Don't become the fear that I'm watching. Don't look at negative possibilities. Just see it, but be who I am spiritually. Be that God-centeredness. Be in that state of really getting what's possible and this amazing internal and external transformation that we're all going through. Stay there. Be that. Recharge your spiritual batteries. Spend time in the silence. I love it when we do that song in our meditation, In the Silence. It's really imperative, and I found out this week it is so imperative to stay in the silence more often, because that's where I recharge my batteries. Turn away from the world and go within. We have so many opportunities for y'all to do that here. We have meditation. If you don't know, we have a beautiful sound bowl meditation that Reverend David does before service, 9 a.m., over in the Om Room. That's a great time to recharge your spiritual batteries. We have our sound bath. We've got a drum circle. We've got great ways for you to come together and recharge because we know that this can deplete us, and we want everybody filled up to capacity with your spiritual energy. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. Choose our response, right? Choose it. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. This is by Viktor Frankl. He wrote Man's Search for Meaning. You probably know his story. He was a Holocaust survivor. He was in a concentration camp, and he had an amazing consciousness because he figured out how to survive in that by finding his inner strength. He really, amazing man. But anyways, he talks a lot about choice, right? To be mindful about our choice. I talked about Buddhism, mindfulness. Be aware of your response. Because a lot of us are getting tangled up and we're just reacting. And it's just making us more and more freaked out. But if we're aware of our response, see what's going on, then we can choose differently. And I'm not saying not to get worried about things that come up. We have our response to that. That's okay. It's just, what are you doing with it? Don't stay in a freaked out, worrisome mode. Choose differently. Go to a different place after you've had your response that might have been fear. Move to faith. Move to strength. Move to a place of God consciousness that will take you to a better place inside of yourself, because all of this is about self-management. This has nothing to do with your outside world. This is the inner world. This is what we manage. I can't manage anything out there. I figured that out. It's all about me. Me and what I'm experiencing, how I'm reacting. And I like to be at peace. You guys like to be feeling at peace? Does that work for you? Me too. I love peace of mind. And so what we teach you here is how to find your inner peace, no matter what is going on in the world, your life, no matter what, finding inner peace. And this is how you do it. Being mindful of your reactions and your responses, create that gap, figure out if that response is actually harmful to you, and choose a different way to respond. Gratitude, count your blessings often. Gratitude is such a great spiritual practice, and the cool thing is it only takes a second. I love gratitude. It is a game changer. And the other day I've been just really in gratitude more than I ever have been lately, and I see what's really working in my life. I see all the things I get to do, this wonderful center that I get to co-lead with. I have a wonderful home, I have great cats, I have great family, I have great friends. When I go to that place of gratitude and my blessings, I am filled up and I am at peace. I tell you, gratitude will take you everywhere inside of yourself for greater peace. Connect with loving, supportive people, and this is the place for this. Community, spiritual community, is vitally important right now because we need each other. We need to lean into each other. We need to know that everything's going to be okay, because it is. And we need to be reminded of that often so that we can stand on solid ground within ourselves. And you know, we have a lot of opportunities for you to connect with us. So I just encourage you, do more of that if you feel you need more. Live in the upper room. Paul Selig, who is kind of like a channeling guy, he's written many, many books, and he has this idea called the upper room. And it sounds like what it is. It's living in this higher level of consciousness where you're not tangled up in all of this stuff. A few days ago, I love Reiki healing, and I have a great Reiki practitioner that I go to. And I was in her home, and she's got all these great crystals. Oh my God, such great crystals. And I was just feeling this elevation, just being in that energy. And I felt the upper room. It was like, oh yeah, this is that upper room. And it's like a place where nothing can penetrate you. It's a place where you're so at peace and so solid inside of yourself spiritually that you can just relax. How many of you have been able to relax a lot in the last month, let's just say? Not many hands, yeah. So this upper room is a great place, a great goal to set for yourself to say, you know what, I'm gonna go into that upper room. I'm gonna figure out what that means to me. Because upper room probably for Reverend William is driving in his Jeep on a beautiful mountain road, right? Upper room for Dr. Laura might be with her grandkids, hanging with her grandkids. Upper room for me is hanging with the kitty cats and just being in my Zen house. I mean, we all have a different place. But I encourage you to find it. We've got to find these places inside of ourselves. We're the only ones that can do it. Nobody can tell you or teach you it. But it is vitally important for us to find it inside of ourselves. That's what New Thought is all about. Find it within. Stop looking outside of yourself, because I'm telling you right now, not a good time for that. You got to find it inside. Find it inside of you. Because once you've established that really firmly in your consciousness, it's always there, and you can quickly go into that upper room and go, namaste, namaste. So it's there for us. And stop catastrophizing. I have a bad habit of that, yeah, right? We just, we're creatures of needing to know. And so if we don't really know, we make up stories. And so what's going on in our world right now, everybody knows what's going to happen. I'm telling you, nobody does. I'm going to just stand up here and say, nobody does. You can say, it looks like this is going in that direction, so it has to be that. We've got to be okay with not knowing and being uncertain. We just have to be with what this is, hold a higher vision, and allow Spirit to do its work. So let us stop catastrophizing and scaring the living daylights out of ourselves. So energy matters. This is kind of a play on words, because energy does matter. We're all energetic beings. And the other side of this is energy creates matter. So we really have to be aware of our energy. Really, really important. Your energy is that powerful. And what I like to say, because I know a lot of us are exhausted, and I put that in my slide, a lot of us feel really exhausted, depleted, just overworked inside of ourselves. And it's because we're relying on ourselves to figure things out and to manage this. But the truth is, by myself, I can do nothing. It is the Spirit within me that does the work. We need to say that more often. To go into the energy of Spirit and let go of this need that our minds have to figure it all out, because we cannot. We've got to release that. That's an illusion, not going to happen. Let the Spirit within you rise up and tell you and guide you. That is going to give you a lot more energy. And guys, if our energy is vibrant and high, we are influencing the effects of this world. And if we're going to a place of love and connection and harmony and a world that works for everybody, that's good for everybody, then we're going to bring that in by our collective energy. It does work like that. Okay, remember this continually, that everything is moving always. The universe is always moving. The Tao tells us this is an active universe. It's always moving, always rebalancing itself. We are not stuck here. This too shall pass. And what I know about balance of the universe is order and peace always come out of chaos and disorder. That's the nature of this universe. It really is helpful for us if we stop getting stagnant in this and get gloom and doom. We got to lift it up and just go, we're in the movement of universal energy. Let's hold it high so we can have a good outcome for everybody. And I mean everybody. So continually remember this. How can I be better? When you're going through whatever, how can I be better? Right? How can I be a better person to yourself, to your loved ones, and anybody you're in connection with, and the world? How can I be better? I have to ask myself that all the time, because sometimes I choose the not so good. So I have to ask myself, could I have done that better? And I forgive myself and I do better. That's how it works. How can I do better, right? How can I do better? Always raising the bar for us to be better people, and not in a punishing way. Please do not take this as self-punishment. Just take it as evolution, as self-improvement, because you know what? There is no ceiling to self-improvement. But we have to cut ourselves some slack and say, you know what? I'm evolving. And what I did yesterday, I may not have wanted to do, but I'm going to do better today. And lastly, am I in fear or love? A lot of us are so mired in fear right now, and if we're in fear, we're not feeling love. And I know it's hard. It's hard to open up the heart with what we're seeing, but that's the call of the day, to open the heart to love. Find it somehow. If you have to go to gratitude, find it somewhere, somehow, because as I said, your energy matters. So I was looking in my book of Psalms, because I was looking at the 23rd Psalm. That's kind of a biggie that people do. And I thought, what's the first Psalm? How do Psalms start? And this is the first Psalm that's in the Old Testament. And it is so incredibly cool. I never knew that. And I believe that it totally speaks to who we are and where to aim as far as our consciousness is. So it says, "Blessed are the man and the woman who have grown beyond their greed and have put an end to their hatred and no longer nourish illusion." So this is calling to us to kind of raise the bar from that survival consciousness to the fear, to the hate, and go higher. Stop nurturing the illusions of we're alone and we're afraid and someone's coming to get us and the world's falling apart. Stop that. Let's raise up. Let us raise up and put an end to that. Goes on to say, "But they delight in the way things are and keep their hearts open day and night." I know it's a tall order right now, but that's where we're going to go. I'm sure none of you want to stay feeling like this, so let's raise it up. We delight in the way things are and keep our hearts open day and night, because we're going to that upper room where our consciousness gets it, where we know what's truth, we know what is possible, so that's where we go, and then we delight and we understand better what is unfolding. They are like trees planted near flowing rivers, which bear fruit when they are ready. And to me, this is when we plant ourselves in our spirituality, we are continually nourished. We don't need to lack for anything at all. Because when we're planted in love and joy and givingness and our hearts are wide open, our good just flows into our lives, and we have everything that we require to thrive in our lives. Lastly, their leaves will not fall or wither. Everything they do will succeed. So this is really a recipe for living in your highest spiritual consciousness. And I know, as I have said, not all of us are there. Not all of us know what that looks like. It doesn't matter. It's inside of you. This is inside of all of us. This possibility of being in this world is inside of all of us. So I encourage you to open yourself up and find that inside of you. To stop getting so mired in what's going on here in this physical realm. Raise yourself up, because we are multidimensional beings. We're not just physical, we're spiritual. And that's a big deal, because spirituality is something that is so powerful. I have seen that power in this room. I have seen it do amazing, what might be called miraculous things, when people trust it and know that there is something greater and better that is moving all of us to a better place, to a more loving place, a more harmonious place. We're just in a bumpy place right now, but that too shall pass. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Dr. Dale, thank you so very much for that wonderful sermon. And now this is the time of our service where we give gratitude for what we have just received. This spiritual place, this spiritual home. And it is through your loving contributions that allows us to have talks such as these, nuggets of wisdom and insight to allow us to grow and to expand. So please, put your tithe on your heart and just know this with me as we say this together. I offer this gift with joy and gratitude and receive freely and give freely, knowing the law of circulation is working perfectly in my life and the life of this center.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My bountiful, my bountiful, my bountiful life.
My bountiful, my bountiful, my bountiful life.
Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health.
Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health.
My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful health.
My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful health. I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
'Cause I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so, so grateful.
So, so grateful.
Thank you for my friend, Spirit. Thank you for my friend.
Thank you for my friend, Spirit. Thank you for my friend.
My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friend.
My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friend.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
So, so grateful.
So, so grateful.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you so very much. I tell you what, do we have a band or what? I'm telling you what. Babe Ruth has nothing on the home run these guys put in week in and week out. So thank you so very much. Oh, with that said, I know we've got some places that we need to be, just especially right next door. So let's say and just bless this bountiful offering that each of us have given and just say thank you. We bless this collective offering and receive it with gratitude, knowing it is Spirit in action. As this currency flows through our center and beyond, it blesses many lives, including my own. So thank you very much. All right, so the mechanics on our potluck is, please exit through the foyer, through the front. It's a one-way street, kind of like New York City streets. So we will exit out and enter the Costa Hall as a one-way, and you will exit out, and beautiful day. We have seats outside and seats inside to just enjoy this wonderful food that we're about ready to have. But I first want to do a closing here and say thank you for Dr. Dale and everyone here. That message that she gave about cause and effect, that right stuff, and thank you for noodling. That absolute cause and effect. Cause being spirit, and the effect is myself. So with that talk today, it gave me inspiration to be the relative cause and effect, that I and you and we are the cause, that we want to show the rest of society to be the effect. And so with that gratitude of that divine cause and us being that effect, I just call this service to a close so that we can go forth to be that cause, to create that relative effect of peace, love, and harmony. I know that each and every one of us are the effect of that right stuff. With love and gratitude in my heart, I just allow this service just to be a close. And I go forth to be that relative cause. And so I just released this word this afternoon with love. I release it to the law, knowing it is perfectly done. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Thank you.
Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Love is my religion.
I'll take you to the temple tonight. All my days I've been searching to find out what this life is worth. Through the books and Bibles of time, I've made up my mind.
I don't condemn, I don't convert. This is a calling, have you heard? Bring all the lovers to the fold. No one gonna lose their soul. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Love is my religion.
Hey, can you take it or leave it?
Don't you have to
To
believe
believe
it?
it. I don't wanna fight. Hey, let's go fly a kite. There's nothing we can't cure. I'll keep you in my arms for sure.
So don't let nobody stop us. Free spirits have to soar. With you I share the gift that we know now. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Love is my religion.
Hey, you can take